Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Brilliant Bankers, where you can expect in-depth classes on exams conducted by IIBF. Myself Nishant, and today the topic is Letter of Credit. Letter of credit is a financial document widely used in international trade transactions. It essentially a guarantee issued by a bank on behalf of a buyer to a seller that a specified sum of money will be paid once certain conditions are met. This instrument helps facilitate secure and efficient trade between parties in different countries. There are four parties who are involved in a letter of credit: the applicant, who is the buyer or the importer; the beneficiary, the seller or the exporter; the issuing bank, and the advising bank. Applicant, the party who initiates the issuance of the letter of credit and promises to pay the agreed amount to the bank. So the person who is going to pay back the money to the bank is the applicant. Who is the seller? The party who will receive the payment provided they meet the conditions specified in the letter of credit. Issuing bank, the bank chosen by the buyer to issue the letter of credit on their behalf, is the issuing bank. The advising bank, the bank that communicates the LC to the beneficiary or the seller on behalf of the issuing bank, and the bank is normally located in the seller's country. Confirming bank, in some cases, is the fifth party. The advising bank may also confirm the letter of credit, which means it adds its own guarantee to the transaction, providing an additional layer of security for the seller. So the process of the LC is: the buyer applies for an letter of credit from their bank detailing the terms and conditions of the trade transaction, which includes specifics like the amount, beneficiary, expiry date, shipping documents required, and all other relevant details. On receipt of the application, the issuing bank issues the letter of credit and sends it to the advising bank, which is usually located in the seller's country. The advising bank, on receipt of the letter of credit, checks the authenticity of the letter of credit and advises the beneficiary, informing them that the letter of credit has been issued in their favor. On the receipt of the advice from the advising bank, the beneficiary may start his exports, or he may forward the letter of credit to the confirming bank, whose duties are to verify the authenticity of the LC, confirmation of the LC, examine the documents for the compliance of terms and conditions, and advise the beneficiary with start with the export or not. On receipt of advice from the confirming bank, the seller starts his export process, and he further handovers the bill of lading or the documents of transportation to the confirming bank. As the confirming bank now receives the documents presented by the seller to ensure that they comply with the terms and conditions of the letter of credit, if the documents are in order, now the confirming bank can change into a negotiating bank, where it negotiates the documents and pays the seller. The bank then forwards the documents to the issuing bank for reimbursement. It can be directly sent to the issuing bank or to the advising bank. Normally the path taken is it is handed over to the advising bank, and in all cases it is not compulsory that a confirming bank should be there in a letter of credit process. An advising bank can be also the negotiating bank. After receipt of the documents from the seller or the negotiating bank, the advising bank then forwards them to the issuing bank. The issuing bank, upon confirming that the documents meet the requirements of the LC, releases payment to the seller through the advising bank, which indirectly pays through the negotiating bank to the seller. The delivery of goods, the advising bank releases the documents to the buyer, who can use them to take possession of the goods from the carrier. The letter of credit provides security to both the buyer and the seller. The buyer knows the payment will be only made if the seller fulfills their obligations as per the agreement, and the seller is assured that once the agreed documents are provided, they will receive payment. Do like, share and subscribe our channel for new videos. Thank you. Jai Hind.